It was horrific that. I've got lots of family in California all the way up the coast. Ontario, Canada. Hi, Jan. Geraldine, yes, you missed week one. That's absolutely fine. If you go to my normal videos, week one will be there. I was going to take it down today, but I don't mind leaving it there till Monday. So yeah, it is in my normal videos. So if you go over to my normal page, you should find week one still there, the pre-recording from last week. And this one will be in the videos as well for a week as well. But obviously it's better if you can join live, because then I can actually ask your questions at the end. Miami Beach, amazing. That's my comment. That's people saying they couldn't see me. Pennsylvania, amazing. Snowy. Yeah, we had snow recently. It's disappeared. We don't get very much snow here because we're right on the coast, and I think the salt air gets rid of it. Okay, you can see me, can see me, can see me. Hey, right. Hi, Happy Bunny, amazing. Right. Okay, I'm going to get straight to it now. So welcome to week 2. So let me just pull up all my details here. So welcome to everybody. Let me know in the chat, by the way, where you are if you haven't already. I always find this really fascinating, seeing where everybody is. And I know this time's not ideal for everybody. You know, I know sometimes people, it's really early in the morning or whatever it is, but I try and do it this time. So I think I try and catch most people, and obviously on a Sunday it's a little bit easier. But yeah, if you haven't done so already, let me know where you are, because I always find that really interesting. Okay, I'm just going to carry on, and then I'll have a little look at these notes again. And then at the end, in the Q&A, I'm going to give you a chance to ask me any questions. And if you haven't done already, oh, Germany, amazing. Love Germany. Went to Berlin recently. Alberta, oh, snowy and cold in Alberta. I need to come back to Canada. My daughter's desperate to go to Canada. I need to bring her at some point. So what was I going to say? I've completely lost my train of thought then. Memphis, Tennessee, amazing. See, this is amazing. Isn't this amazing? I'm so pleased you guys are all here, and I'm so, thank you so much for your support on my channel, by the way. You've made me a very happy person, like this year. Well, last year mainly it started to happen. I really genuinely appreciate it. I really appreciate your support. Okay, so this is kind of something that I put up already. So last week we kind of looked at color and style. So this is, by the end of this, you will have some tools to make a better wardrobe, make better decisions, I'm hoping. For those of you that weren't here last week, don't worry, you will be able to watch week 1. I will leave it on there till Monday, because I know a couple of you didn't realise you could see it there. That's absolutely fine. I'll leave it there till Monday. And you will be able to go and catch up. It is kind of better if you do these things in this sort of order. Toronto, amazing. But if not, don't worry too much. So if you can get a chance to maybe watch week 1 over the weekend, then that'll be really good. And then this one will also go into the videos as well. Amazing, Oregon. Amazing. I love this. It's amazing. Okay. So a little bit about me, if you don't know a lot about me already. This is the boring bit. I have been a personal stylist for 26 years this year, and I started in 1999, and of course I started when I was 3. No, I didn't really. I was about 25. Anyway, my first job was looking after Boys Own Enrique Iglesias. And since then, I've been a stylist dressing actors, musicians, presenters all over the world. This is Julie Walters. You might recognise her from the Harry Potter films. Katy Perry, this amazing team, bless them. This was a TV drama called Spooks in the UK. Another drama, I think this is still on BritBox, maybe, if anybody's got BritBox and you like a bit of a period drama. This was like a 1930s period drama I did with Emma Thompson, Jim Broadbent, and those guys, which was amazing. And this is a lovely Rosie Jones, who I absolutely love, a comedian in the UK who I worked with. This was another TV drama I did. And this, actually, the reason why I've put this one up here, because this TV drama is shot in my hometown of Brighton. So if anybody knows Brighton and Hove on the south coast of the UK, it's about an hour's drive south of London. So this is just a little bit of background about me. So I have been doing styling for a long time, and I started Capsule Closet Stylist in the pandemic because I'd been being quite intentional and minimalist about my wardrobe myself, and I realised that that could probably help other people too, alongside my kind of styling background. So let's get back to this week and last week. So last week we were looking at thinking quality over quantity, about mindset, about thinking differently about how we approach clothes. Remember, less is more. And we were thinking about style and selecting your colours. And I went through a whole bunch of stuff about that as well. So there was lots of information in last week. So definitely have a look if you didn't get a chance. Now, one thing I will say, again this week, I am going to be blabbing at you, completely blabbing at you as normal. So if you've got any way of making notes, I suggest you do that, whether you do that on your phone or, pen and paper, however you do it. But there will likely be things that you might want to write down, or of course you can just watch it back later on in the week. So this week we're going to be looking at practical needs, like your lifestyle and the practical side of things. So climate and seasons, your wardrobe favourites, work and weekly requirements. So let me know in the comments. I have got them up. I'm not looking at it all the time, so I've got my notes here. But if there's any issues, just give me a shout. And then obviously I'm going to give you all a chance to ask me questions, now and again throughout, and then at the end particularly. So what climate do you live in? Do you live in a seasonal climate? Now, it sounds to me, by what some of you have said today, you definitely do. So if you live in a seasonal climate, that can make a difference to how you think about your wardrobe. Are you creating a capsule wardrobe for autumn, winter, or spring, summer, or, and spring, summer, or both? Building a capsule wardrobe in a seasonal climate requires planning to account for varying temperatures and weather while maintaining a versatile minimalist approach. So I'm going to go through a whole bunch of things now that you might want to consider if you're thinking about having kind of two wardrobes. Now, I've got a client that I'm actually working with right now who is building her winter wardrobe at the moment. We're going to concentrate on her summer wardrobe later on in the year because she's in the Northern Hemisphere. So we'll be going through all these different bits and pieces. Some of you, and I have worked with clients previously, who want to just have one wardrobe and they want as minimalist as possible. Like, I've worked with clients who just literally have one or two colours in their wardrobe, and that's absolutely fine. This is why I don't believe in putting a number on how much you have in your wardrobe. And I don't think it should be 30 items or 100 items or whatever it is. I think it should be down to the individual. And what we're going to go through today is a lot about helping you think really carefully about how your wardrobe can serve you rather than you serving your wardrobe, and how to make decisions of how many items you might need as well, because I get asked that an awful lot. So evaluate your climate and lifestyle. Seasons. Determine how extreme each season is, i.e. very hot summers or very cold winters, rainy springs, mild transitions, etc. Consider whether you are creating one wardrobe for the whole year or two for each season. So that actually doesn't make sense because there's kind of 4 seasons in it, but you know what I mean. Autumn, winter, spring, summer. Plan per season. Each season will need its own set of key pieces. A good rule of thumb is 30 or 40 pieces per season, including clothing, outerwear and shoes. But like I say, this so depends on whether you're still employed. It depends on whether you've got kids. It depends on the type of job you've got. There's so many factors that come into play with this, which we're going to go through. So, you might consider, so for an autumn winter or fall winter wardrobe, you might consider tops, long sleeve shirts, turtlenecks, sweaters, maybe 3 to 5 pieces, bottoms, jeans, like wool woven trousers, like formal trousers, skirts with tights, 3 to 4 pieces, outerwear, a warm coat, a lighter jacket or a parka. If you live in a particularly rainy environment, you might need something that's a little bit more waterproof. Shoes, boots, ankle and knee length, and then maybe insulated kind of sneakers or shoes. Think about layering or base layers for very, very cold climates. That's kind of obvious. We kind of know that. But all of this are just ideas because you will know your environment and what works best for you. But I'm going to kind of go through some more anyway. Summer, tops, short sleeve shirts, blouses, vest tops, 4 to 6 pieces, bottoms, shorts, skirts, lightweight trousers, 3 to 4 pieces. outerwear, a light cardigan or jacket, so maybe like a denim jacket or a linen jacket or something like a blazer. Dresses or jumpsuits, 2 to 3 breathable, versatile pieces. Another thing you want to think about is the fabrics, which I'll also talk about in a minute. Shoes, sandals, sneakers or loafers, accessories, sunglasses, hat, lightweight scarves, and your sunscreen. Well, actually, sometimes you need that in the winter as well, don't you? So focus on versatility. Prioritise pieces that can layer well. For example, a button-down shirt works well alone or underneath a jumper or a sweater. Now, one thing I will say about that, I often think V-neck jumpers usually work better for most people for 2 reasons. One, they tend to work better on more body shapes because of the way just the way the bodies are and the way the V kind of sits on the body. But also, if you are building a capsule wardrobe and you want things to mix and match, a shirt collar sits better underneath a V-neck, I think, than a round neck, particularly if you want to be able to wear it open as well. So just something to consider there. Choose items that mix and match easily within your chosen palette. So we spoke about palettes and colours last week. Invest in traditional pieces like a denim jacket, a trench coat, or maybe, you know, like a biker jacket or bomber jacket, leather jacket as well. Okay, so this part is about the fabrics. Now, there's a lot of things that I would say about fabrics, but one thing I will say is as natural as possible is always better. Several reasons for that. First one being it's usually much better quality. Second one being it will recycle down. You know, I don't know whether any of you know this, but anything that's a mixed fibre, so anything that's got, say, cotton and polyester in it, will never ever be able to be, the fabric will never be able to be broken down and recycled as a fibre. Never. It will never be able to, that will never be able to happen. You know, you might be able to sell it on and someone else will be able to wear it. Whereas if something's 100% wool or 100% cotton, etc., then you can actually obviously recycle that fibre down. So that's the first thing, the reason why it's better. Second thing is that it's more breathable and it's better on your skin, particularly if you're that age maybe where you're going through the menopause or post-menopause, and sometimes your skin can be quite irritated. A lot of women find that their skin becomes a lot more sensitive then. Natural fibres tend to be better for that as well, and it allows your skin to breathe. So for winter, select durable, seasonal, appropriate fabrics. Obviously, winter, wool, cashmere, flannel, fleece. And when I mean fleece, I'm actually kind of talking about natural fleeces. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against having, you know, man-made fibres. I've got clothes that are man-made fibres myself, but I'm just giving you all the information so that you can make informed choices for yourself as well. So summer, linen, cotton, chambray. Chambray works really well actually for a replacement for denim. So, you know, if you live in a really hot climate, maybe look at like chambray or linen options instead of jeans, because that's kind of much lighter and it's kind of allow the air to flow and all that. Spend more on items you'll use often, for example, like winter boots and a raincoat. Now, this is quite interesting. I did this recently. I wanted to buy a decent raincoat and I went onto what is called Vinted here. I know it's available in Germany. I'm not sure it's available in the US yet, but it's like kind of Poshmark, etc. So and I bought one secondhand there, and it's a really good quality. It would have been £250, which is probably about $350 new, and I got it for the equivalent of about $90, and it was, you know, it'd never been worn. So it's always worth, with things that I think that you're going to get out every single year. So it might be that it's not particularly, you know, on trend, but it's a practical item of clothing that you are going to get out every year and you will wear for a certain amount of time. So like if you're in Canada and it's really cold, again, I invested in a really good Canada Goose coat a few years ago. And every year that coat comes out and I look like a big black toilet roll in it with little piddly legs sticking out the bottom, but I don't care because I'm warm. So it is so practical. So things like that, I think it's really worth investing money in those things to, you know, practical items that you're going to wear again and again. Rotate and store. When transitioning between seasons, store out of season items in vacuum sealed bags or bins. Maintain a clean, clutter-free wardrobe. Swap out around 3 colours for the new season. Now, what I mean by that is, now you if you go back and you watched my last video, you'll know I talked about having around 8 colours in your wardrobe to begin with, if you're looking for something that's going to mix and match really easily. Now, I get asked a lot again, what do I do for when spring, summer comes, or autumn, winter comes, whatever season's coming next? And I always say it's worth swapping out, say, about 3-ish, can go either way, colours for the next season, because what that does is it feels like you've refreshed it when, you put some of those really like warmer clothes away. If you're transitioning to summer, for example, you put those really warmer clothes away, but it gives you some fresh colours as well. But also, as we all know, if we live in a seasonal climate, you don't just suddenly go from freezing cold one day to boiling hot the next. Well, you kind of do sometimes, but it doesn't happen like that generally. You know what I mean? There's a whole batch of time in between where it's a lot more vague. So I think if you have, say, at least 4 colours in your wardrobe that go right the way through the year, then those items will still mix and match nicely in that transitional period as well. Okay. North Dakota, amazing. Hi, Oda. I hope I pronounced your name right there. If I didn't, let me know. Okay, your wardrobe favourites. So after we've looked at kind of climate, we want to start thinking about what you like, what you don't like, and why you like it. Because all of this, we looked at like the colours and the styles and got some Pinterest inspiration. That was all the fun stuff. We've looked at the seasons and the practicalities of what we're going to need. Now I want you to really think about, in your wardrobe, what items do you always go for? And do you go for them because they're just safe, or do you go for them because there's something about them you absolutely love? So which one is it, and why do you love them? Like, for example, I have a pair of fleece-lined Doc Martin boots. They are so comfortable because they're fleece-lined all the way through. They are so durable. They're good in rain, snow, everything. And I go for them all the time because they're so practical. And for me, that's one of those items that I absolutely love. So if you've got items like that in your wardrobe, but then I have other boots which I'm not so happy with, so I often end up sort of selling them if it doesn't work. And often they're things that have been gifted to me. But so think about what it is that you don't like about them, and what it is you do. Do you favour certain clothes over others? Why do you favour them? So start with observation. Notice what you naturally reach for most often. Pay attention to the clothes you wear regularly for different occasions, for work, casual outings, formal events, etc. Review laundry trends. Check which clothes you consistently are washing and putting back into your wardrobe. Now, one thing I will say about this, like I said, if it is that it's just a safe option, and what I mean by that is you just wear it because you don't know what else to wear. And so it just feels safe and you just put it on. I would think twice about that, because what I want you to feel amazing. Now, whether the fabric feels amazing, whether the style, the colour, whatever it is, but I want you to feel as good as you possibly can in it. So for me personally, you might feel differently, but for me personally, if something you're putting on is just because it's safe and it feels easy, that's not good enough for me. It doesn't mean to say you've got to chuck it out the door tomorrow. I wouldn't suggest you do that. But I would think about what you like about it, but then think about also what maybe you might like even more. What would make you feel good about it? And if that's not the case, and maybe it's the fabric and it feels comfortable, don't get me wrong, there's certain things, like when I do wardrobe edits with people, there's certain things where sometimes people will talk about something they've got in their wardrobe and it's all sloppy and it's kind of comfy and it's their kind of comfort item, whatever it is. Absolutely keep those things, because those things are just as important as everything else. But I'm talking about generally going out and feeling good about yourself. If the items that you wear a lot are just kind of safe things, then I would think twice about it. Identify favourites for each season to account for the weather. So in other words, identify what you like and colour-wise, practicality, everything for that particular season. Analyse why you like them. So reflect on the following factors. I told you I was going to be talking at you again. Comfort. Does the fabric feel good against your skin? Is it soft, breathable? Do the fit and cut allow you to move freely without feeling restricted? I don't know about you, but long gone are the days where I want to be pulling a skirt down or pulling something out of my bottom because it's, you know, whatever it is. I don't know. I just don't want it anymore and I just can't be bothered with it anymore. But so, you know, if that's you too, then think about how that garment fits on you. Fit. Does the item flatter your body shape? So we talked a little bit about that last week, and I also talked a little bit about body shapes last week as well. Does it fit well without needing frequent adjustments? Hence what I've just said. Style. Do you love the colour or pattern? This is really important as well, because sometimes colours can make you feel good. They do, don't they? You know, you'll have certain colours that you just feel good in. Is the style aligned with your personal aesthetic? Classic, bohemian, minimalist, you know, whatever sort of style you consider it to be. Does it feel modern and timeless? Functionality. Does it suit your lifestyle? For example, work appropriate? Is it versatile? Is it easy to style with other pieces in your wardrobe? Now that is an important one, and that is why last week I was talking about having around 8 colours or less, because the less colours you have, the easier it is to mix and match items in your wardrobe. Okay, emotional connection. Does it make you feel confident, happy or comfortable in your own skin? Is it tied to a positive memory or meaningful event? Now, one more that I've just thought of that I didn't add on here that I'd like to add on here as well. If you have a something that you are passionate about, for example, animal cruelty, or if you're vegan, or most of us, I think, consider most of these things, but if there's a particular cause that you are particularly strong about, then where is the garment made? How was the garment made? What is it made from? You know, what is the ethical background of that garment? You know, is that important to you as well? There is, you know, for that reason, there are some brands when I get asked to collaborate, there are some brands I just won't work with for that reason. Okay, separate your wardrobe. Pull out your favourites. Physically separate your most loved items from the rest of your wardrobe. Now, you could do this or you don't have to do this. It's like, it's all I'm trying to do is get you to identify what you really like. Group similarities. Notice trends among favourites. Are there more neutral colours, specific fabrics or tailored styles? Why do you skip some clothes? So when you go to your wardrobe and you don't pick something out, is it because it's uncomfortable or ill-fitting? Do they clash with your current style? Does it feel outdated? Or is it just that you don't know what to put it with? You know, what to dress with it? That's another one. Are there clothes you wish you had for specific occasions or weather? So that's something else to consider. So let me know if you've got any comments or in the chat about everything I've just said, because I've got a little bit more to go through now. We're about kind of halfway through. So do you tend to wear skirts, trousers, shorts or dresses, for example? If so, why? So what's the reason that you wear that? By the way, I'm not next to Big Ben. That's quite a few miles away. That's just a clock I've just got here. Based on your analysis, list the qualities of your ideal clothes. For example, fabric, soft, breathable, easy to maintain might be something that you need to consider. Fit, high-waisted pants, you know, does that suit your body type, for example? Does that feel good on you? Tailored tops, you know, do you need that for work? Style, do you like neutral colours with clean lines, or do you like bright, vibrant colours with lots of patterns? Function, versatile for work and casual wear. You know, do you want things that are going to kind of transition to different parts of your life? I know quite a few people that I work with now work from home. They do kind of hybrid work. Sometimes they're working from home. Sometimes they're working out in the office as well. Okay, so now we're going to look at work and weekly kind of your requirements for work. Okay, can everybody still see me? Just let me know in the comments. I'm just going to take a drink just to make sure that you are still all hearing me and I'm not just talking out into the abyss. Let me know in the comments if you can still hear me. I'll just wait a minute and then I'll go on to the next bit. Can everybody still hear me? Yes, brilliant. Okay, great. Thank you. I think there is a little bit of a delay. It just seems to take a little while. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody. Yay. Okay, right, I'll carry on. Evaluate your daily activities. So, work environment. This is where we start to kind of think about breaking your wardrobe down. Now, if you've seen some of my videos, you'd have heard me say this. I kind of consider looking at your whole wardrobe as a whole and breaking down your lifestyle in a month from 100%. So this is another way that you can do this, because what that does is it gives you an idea of, like, so how many, work skirts you need, or how many dresses you need in the summer when you look after the grandchildren or whatever it is. Work environment. Do you work in a formal, business, casual or casual workplace? So in other words, very formal, is it sort of smart casual, or is it like a very casual workplace? Are there specific dress codes, for example, uniforms, required suits? So if you obviously have a uniform, you don't really need to think about anything in your actual wardrobe yourself, because you would just have that uniform separately. Home life. Do you work from home, care for children, or spend time on hobbies? Social life. How often do you attend events, dine out, or go to parties, or out with friends, or out to lunch, for example? Fitness and outdoor activities. Do you exercise regularly or spend time outdoors? What do you need for that? Travel. Do you travel often? And if so, is it for work or leisure? That's a whole other, packing for traveling is a whole other, I'd have to do a whole other video on that. But one little tip that I will say, just while I'm here, is what I tend to do is put out what I think I'm going to need a few days before, and then go back to it and pull out the kind of items that are very similar to each other, particularly if I know that I've got washing facilities where I'm going. I don't bother. I actually prefer to just take carry-on luggage if I can. I don't like having the big luggage, but I know some people like to take lots of stuff with them. Okay, match your work needs. So for corporate or formal workplaces, you might need blazers, dress shirts, trousers, skirts, and neutral dresses. Opt for classic styles in solid colours or subtle patterns for versatility. Business casual, smart casual workplaces incorporate tailored plants, knit tops and smart casual dresses. Add loafers or block heels for polished comfort. One thing I will say about this, I got asked by a radio station to comment on the fact that Rishi Sunak, when he was Prime Minister, had gone to a conference and he'd worn a hoodie. Oh my God, he's worn a hoodie. He wore a hoodie at a conference, and there was a big discussion about whether he should wear a hoodie or not at the conference or not. And I thought it looked absolutely fine. It was a knitted hoodie, and it was like a really nice kind of gentle knit, and it just happened to have a hood on it. So I said I thought it was absolutely fine. So I kind of think that probably falls into this kind of category as well. Creative workplaces. Experiment with bold colours, patterns or unique accessories. By the way, if you like bold patterns and unique accessories, I still think you should try and push them through wherever you are, if you can. Mixed casual and formal elements, for example, a blazer with jeans. Remote or freelance work, focus on cosy yet polished pieces like structured loungewear or cardigans. But also, again, that depends on what your workplace is and whether you need to look really presentable in what you're doing. So include video call friendly tops, for example, clean lines and solid colours. Now, what I will say with this as well, and this is something that may affect you if you do videos on online, or you have to have calls online, think about the patterns. Now, sometimes with TV, sometimes you see patterns on a shirt or on a tie and it kind of jumps about. It looks like it jumps about. It's usually quite bright or dark colours, clashing colours with tiny patterns. I mean, I can see that. I could look at a garment now and go, that's going to strobe. I know it's going to strobe. So just to be aware of that, if you are somebody who does work online, that might be something to consider. So next, what do you do on a weekly basis? Is it better that your clothes are in a darker shade? For example, if you've got young children, is dry cleaning practical for you? Do you work outside a lot? Do you get dirty? Are trousers more practical than skirts or shorts, or vice versa? Are you at home with small children? Is it better that your clothes are darker and washable? Do you need clothes to travel to work? For example, waterproofs or different shoes to walk in? So think about all of that as well. I know I'm throwing a hell of a lot at you at the moment, but think about all those elements as well. Okay, so prioritize clothing categories. Divide your wardrobe based on your weekly time allocation. So clothes for your professional environment, casual wear, comfortable outfits for errands, leisure and weekends. Now, this is something you can do if you want to do it. I don't think this one is essential to do it like this, but if you really want to kind of break it down so that it's very easy, then this might be something that you'd consider. The other way to break your wardrobe down is to break it down into items. So trousers, skirts, jackets, etc. And like I said last week, we'll talk a bit more about this when we talk about the wardrobe edit next week, which is next week's video, by the way. That if you're unsure of what you've worn and what you haven't, when you wear something, turn the hang around the other way, and then by the end of the season you can see exactly what you've worn and what you haven't. So casual wear, comfortable outfits for errands, leisure or weekends. Active wear, functional pieces for fitness or outdoor activities. Event wear, special occasion outfits for formal events or special occasions. So, also account for sort of lifestyle specifics. Parents or caregivers prioritize easy to wash, durable fabrics like cotton or jersey. Choose practical pieces with pockets and comfortable shoes, right? This is kind of like, some of this is really obvious, but this is how you make your wardrobe work for you rather than you working for your wardrobe. Really think about what it is you need. Active or outdoor enthusiasts add weather appropriate outerwear, moisture wicking tops and sturdy footwear. Minimal socializing, focus on everyday essentials and skip excessive formal wear. So if if you're retired or you don't need to go to an office, then obviously you don't need so much formal wear unless that's something you just like to dress in all the time. Frequent socialising, include a few statement pieces and shoes for night outs or parties. When you do that as well, if you're, including some pieces for going out, try and choose pieces which will be appropriate for different occasions as well. Choose versatile pieces, invest in multifunctional clothing, a dress that works for the office and for dinner, for example, a blazer that can be dressed up or down, shoes that work for both work and casual, like a white shirt that could be worn with a pair of jeans or can also be worn under a suit, for example. Focus on fabrics and maintenance. Select fabrics that will suit your activities. So if you're a busy mum, or you look after the kids, or you're running a house, or you're working and looking after the kids, low maintenance, wrinkle resistant, machine washable for easy lifestyles. High performance, you want breathable, moisture wicking fabrics for active days. Avoid fabrics that require frequent dry cleaning if your schedule is hectic. That makes absolute sense. And also, contrary to popular belief, dry cleaning, and I say always read the label, because I'm not there to look at the garment to see whether it is one that could go in the washing machine or be hand washed. But dry cleaning is one of the most damaging things that actually, not only for the environment, but also for your actual clothes. So if you can sort of maintain clothes in between dry cleaning, then I would as much as possible. So for example, if you've got, say, a leather jacket with a lining and it needs a wash, maybe use a disinfectant spray, like one of these anti-odor sprays, that make sure it's got the type of ingredients in it that break down I can't remember what the word for it is now. Somebody might be able to tell me in a minute. It's gone out of my head. But basically, it's where it kind of breaks down the bacteria as well. And if you spray that on it a little bit, that will kind of keep it going a little bit longer, so you don't have to take for dry cleaning. Not only will it save you money, but believe me, it saves the garment as well, because it's really quite tough on clothes, dry cleaning, despite some labels saying that is the best option for it. Okay, so session 2 recap. Decide which season your capsule wardrobe is for. Is it for the whole season? What are your wardrobe favourites and why? What are your work and weekly activity requirements? Take note of all these aspects to get an idea of how your wardrobe needs to serve you. Okay, I'm just going to have a little look at the questions now. Okay, so we come to the Q&A now. So if anybody's got any questions, pop them in the chat now. I'm an hourglass shape and struggle to find casual clothes that suit me. My work is hybrid. I have plenty of clothes for the office. Zilch for working from home though. Any suggestions? Okay, so if you're hourglass and you are quite busty, you're better off with a V-neck. And you know, or even if you've got like jewelry that kind of hangs down, I don't know how far your camera sort of cuts you off, but you definitely want something that kind of comes down like this. Generally an hourglass is great. Obviously you can be different, you know, some people can be, you know, have lots of shape and some people have got a slightly slighter shape, so I don't know which. So my hybrid, I have plenty of clothes for the office. Zilch for working from home though. Any suggestions? Yeah, so I would try V-necks, definitely. I think you can afford to go for patterns and things like that. It's entirely up to you. I think it would, beyond that, it would be kind of your personal preference. I wouldn't go for too much fuss, so puffy sleeves or anything like that. Because I kind of feel like it you know, you don't need it. It's just going to add unnecessary bulk. So I hope you found that helpful, Geraldine. Joanna, so good ideas. Thank you very much, Joanna. I appreciate that. Attending work events. How do you define business casual for women? Okay, so I think that the way I see it, okay, is business is literally suit. So blazer, matching trousers, matching, you know, skirt, and probably heels and a blouse underneath. So that is what I would define as business. Business casual, I think you can maybe introduce sort of cardigans. You can maybe introduce slightly less structured fabrics, so things that aren't as kind of tailored. I still think it's better to avoid like, you know, so obviously you wouldn't go into somewhere with like flip-flops on or something like that. So casual, I think when you head into casual, for example, let me go back to that hoodie thing as well. That's obviously the men, but I think that's quite a good example of what I'm trying to say is, so when Rishi Sunak wore that like knitted hoodie, you could probably look it up somewhere. It's probably online somewhere. There was a big controversy about it because why isn't he wearing a suit and tie? And actually, I think it was slightly more towards casual, but it still looked smart. So I still think you need to look put together. You need to pull your outfit together, whether it's by colour, so you're matching colour through. And it still needs to look well presented, obviously ironed and all that type of thing. But I think you can have slightly more relaxed fabrics. It doesn't have to be quite starchy, whereas when it's business, it's very corporate. Often as well, the colours are more limited. So I think you're more like in your navies, your charcoal greys and your blacks, you know, with real business. Whereas when it's business casual, I think you can add a little bit more colour. I also think as well, you know, if you had a pair of trousers, you had a skirt, you could have a blouse or a shirt with patterns on it or something like that. You know, I think you can just be a little bit more expressive with business casual than you can be with business corporate. I hope that makes sense. Rosemary, that's a good question. I hope I've explained it for you as well. My issue is blouses, shirts. I have loads, but I can't wear them loose. Not very good at the tuck, though. They would be good for work. Okay, but I can't wear them loose. Not very good at the tuck. Okay, what is, Happy Bunny, when you say you're not very good at the tuck, is it that they bulk out too much? What is it you mean by you're not very good at the tuck? One really easy way of doing it, and if you've got a bit of a tummy, I don't know if you have, I'm just saying this just in case. If you've got a bit of a tummy and you're a bit worried about your tummy, one way to do it is if you get sort of the side seams of your shirt or your blouse and just sort of fold it back. Just fold it back gently. And it doesn't have to be really tight across the front, but just fold the sides back. And then what that does, instead of it all being, yeah, okay, so they are, okay, yeah, so that's what it is, so they're not fitted. Okay, so yeah, just get either side seam and just sort of fold it back on itself. So it almost goes in, it almost looks like a sort of like triangle at the side. So if I, let me try and demonstrate if I had something here. So if I had, let me see. So if I got a piece of fabric here and I just folded it back like that, and then just tuck it in flat on at your skirt. And what that does is it will take the bulk out of the garment, and where you're saying where it doesn't look right loose, and you can just gently pull it up a little bit if it looks too taut across your tummy. But that's a really simple way of tucking it in so it doesn't look all messy and kind of bulky. So I hope that helps. And that way then you're just sort of folding it back towards your back. Okay, has anybody got any more questions? I'm going to just come along to the next bit while I'm waiting for them to come up. So I know a couple of you members already, so I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about my little members community, because I'm doing this for 4 weeks, this challenge, but I come on once a month, every month like this, with my Capsule Closet Success little VIP community. I know some of you are in it already, which is fantastic. You know, you can basically, whether you dream of like a wardrobe that mixes and matches easily, knowing which colours suit you, being able to put an outfit together with ease, having guidance on find an outfit for a special occasion. So if you wanted to, you could come on 1 month and go, I'm going to my daughter's wedding, I don't know what to buy, etc. You can ask me a question like you have here. You can also post in the community as well and ask me questions beforehand. And I also, what I try to do is gear what we do each month on what the questions are that are coming up in the community. Or you simply want to feel fabulous again, I can help with Capsule Closet Success and come on once a month. So these are just like little comments about previous clients when I did this once before. This was Rachel. She was one of the first people that I ever worked with, actually. I get special guests. I am planning actually very soon to have a yoga teacher who is going to come in. She's going to talk about yoga and how that can help you with, you know, posture and core strength. I've also got a makeup artist planned coming in as well to talk to you all. So yeah, you get some special guests coming through and learn for these wellness experts, because I kind of feel like that is all part and parcel of building like a wardrobe that works for you. So yeah, there's monthly live sessions with me as a stylist, access to the private members groups for support, member benefits in the form of discount codes. So yes, I do drop in discounts as well there now and again. So that's another Neve. Okay, so let me just go back to these comments. So yeah, if you're interested in joining Capsule Closet Success, you can just head over to my page, my normal YouTube channel, and it's all on YouTube. It's just you get access to a little bit more content, and it's $4.99 a month, which $4.99 GDP, which in US dollars is about, I think, $6.50 a month, something like that. So it's pretty much the price of a coffee, and you get to have a little chat to me once a month. Why wouldn't you want to? No, I don't mean that, but you know, it's quite nice. It's a nice little thing to do. Okay, so yeah, I will put in a link to that. So this is what's going to be happening next week. So next week we've got the closet edit, like I said, planning the edit. So planning how you're going to edit your clothes, keep, donate, remove, damaged items and duplicate items, wrong size, etc. So this is what we're going to go through next week. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a little look at these questions, and then I'll put a link in for the Closet Success, and you can have a little look. And if anybody's got any questions about it, by the way, you can either email me on my channel page. There's a link where you can email me, or leave a little message for me in the posts in the community area, and I see them all. You know, I put posts on there about things that are happening. You can just leave me a little question there. I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions. Can you recommend a brand that makes white button-down shirts for larger busts? I can never get one that doesn't gape. That's really tricky, because I don't know where are you? What's probably best with that is to buy them where they've got darts underneath the bust. So darts underneath the bust, and then also darts at the back, so that it kind of gives you, it comes in a little bit underneath, and then allows your bust. If it is that your bust is a high ratio to your waist, it might be better off, unfortunately, buying a bigger size that actually covers your bust, and then having darts put in, or having it taken in slightly underneath the bust so it fits you better. Just off the top of my head with that one. Oh, I'm really glad you're finding it really helpful. Right, let me just have a little look on. I'm just going to. Oh, oops, that's not what I want. Just going to pull up the page here. So I'll just put. So basically, it is. Oh, I'm just trying to think where the link is now. Okay, here we go. So if I come out of this. Okay, I think I'm going to leave this because it will take me, and it would just be me. You'll just be watching me looking around my screen. But what I'll do is, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will put the link to the VIP area in this chat, actually, when we finish, so that you can have a little look at that if you want to have a little look. Because I'm planning to do quite a lot with that. The whole idea of it is to kind of bridge the gap between people who don't want to work with me one-on-one, or can't work with me one-on-one, but just want a little bit of help all the way through. So if you're starting a capsule wardrobe, you can post in the community. So where we've got the posts in the normal community area on YouTube, you get that, but then there's also a private members area as well, where you get to ask particular questions. So you can come on there and go, Michelle, I'd really like to know about how to match bags to my outfits. Can we have that as a theme one week, or whatever it is? And I kind of keep that idea. Like the first one we did was about shoes, and I did all about how to wear shoes, what types of shoes to wear with different outfits, etc., etc., just to give you an example. Okay, so this is really tear into the wardrobe organising. I started organising the whole house, actually. You were cutting some show. Oh, that's amazing. I do this. I literally, what I do actually is every now and again, I go through my whole house room by room as if I'm going to move, as if I'm going to be moving. And I look at it all like I'm moving. So yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from on that front. Okay, so listen to Vivienne Westwood, because it's a philosophy of life, a practice. If you do this, something will change, and that will change is what you will change. Your life will change, and if you can change you can perhaps change the world. So what I'm hoping, that's really like blabbing that I've been saying that, but essentially what I want you to do is to really think about what makes you feel good. And my biggest thing as well is, please take away from this exactly the same thing as what I said last week. If you see someone and you like what they're wearing, and please tell them, because I want to build a whole community of people everywhere who kind of compliment someone else. It costs nothing. So let's do this. So many people feel down about themselves. They don't feel like they look good enough, etc., etc. I want you to be a little bit brave. I want you to kind of get inspired again. If you've not watched the first video, look at that and how to get inspired. This one was all very, very practical. Next week's going to be quite practical as well, about editing your wardrobe.